Hello there, I'm back again, this time with a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Classics figure review of Bebop and Rocksteady. Oh, look at them, aren't they amazing? I really like this short-lived range. It really annoyed me when I found out that it had been cancelled due to poor sales. Especially considering that apparently we were going to get Shredder and Krang next, and that would have been absolutely glorious. These figures are wonderful in every way. They are just like the 1980s animated series, and at the same time they're also very reminiscent of the original figures as well, and they just look, well, you can see how just wonderful they are, how highly detailed they're. A lot of care, a lot of passion has gone into these guys, and they look absolutely phenomenal. So it is such a shame that they did die an unceremonious sort of death, really. Let's have a look at Rocksteady first. Rocksteady himself, he comes with 3 accessories. He comes with his huge machine gun. His absolutely massive machine gun there, which is quite good, and also, as you can see, stands up on his own really well. He comes with a big old knife. Oop. He comes with a big old knife as well. Combat knife, very reminiscent of Rambo, I think, with his serrated edge there. And he's got his helmet as well, which is also removable. Well, you can see that. Obviously, there'll be photographs, as there always is. Posability wise, he's just amazing. There's so much articulation on these guys, and of course they also come all with a handy base, with a handy display stand as well, so you haven't got to worry about that happening, because that happens way too often with a lot of figures when they don't do this, especially top heavy guys like Bebop and Rocksteady here. So anyway, articulation, there is so much. You've got a nice big ball joints on the shoulders, so you've got plenty of articulation there. You've got joints, so you can move the upper arms, elbow joints, a double elbow joint actually, so you can really get the dynamic pose in. You've got wrist joints as well. You've even got a wrist joint, so you can spin it, turn it, and move it up and down as well. He's starting to do the splits there, stand up. You've got a waist joint, so you can swivel him at the base of his waist. You've got ball joints, so you can move the legs. You can't get him too far. That's basically because the shells get in the way. But that's not too much of a problem. He wasn't really a very sort of dynamic, acrobatic character. And you've got knee joints. You've got double knee joint just like the arms, so you get more dynamic range. And you can swivel the boots as well. And all this leads to you being able to pose him incredibly well. You can have him sort of relaxed, you can have him in a dynamic pose. You can also obviously turn his head. You can't turn it very far though, and he does look a bit strange at certain angles, but that's because of the nature of the design of his neck, and also because he was often quite slumped over anyway, because he is, after all, a rhinoceros. I won't bother doing Rocksteadies as well. If there's any changes I'll tell you, obviously, but they're pretty much identical posability wise. They're not without their issues, obviously. Everything can't be, a winner. I do like the fact you've got two different, you've got 2 hand sculpts, so you can put his gun in either hand. Gun's fairly easy to put in with his hand. You slide it in at the top, slide it in by the top, and his finger goes nicely around the trigger there. However, the sword, or the knife, sorry, is a little bit trickier. It doesn't always want to go in. You kind of got to go in at an angle and then get it in. But once they're holding it in, they've got it. That's locked in place. That's not going to, they're not going to go anywhere. The level of detail on Rocksteady is absolutely wonderful. You can see the paintwork is on the face, and you can see the sculpting and the paintwork on the face is absolutely excellent. They've really sort of gone the full hog. And as you can see, the paintwork is lovely. It's highly detailed, it's nice and crisp, nice and clean. He looks great. I absolutely love this figure. He takes pride and place on my thing. The only downside is this is, as you can see, very easy to knock off. You can easily accidentally knock his helmet off. But other than that, excellent figure. Highly recommend it. Such a shame they didn't sell. Fingers crossed it might happen again one day. And we might get we might get sort of a resurgence and they might re-release them. It's doubtful, but one can hope, I guess. Oh, how posh, one can hope. So, here's Bebop. Again, full dynamic range of poses. I've lost my train of thought. Full dynamic range sort of articulation, so you can move him and pose him nicely. The only difference with really is he hasn't got any twist to his hair. He hasn't got any sort of movement up and down his head. You can just turn it from side to side, and he looks a bit awkward with his head in any other position than straight forward. He only comes with one accessory. He comes with his drill gun, which I believe you also, again, all these accessories you've got with the original figures. And obviously he comes with a base as well. This is fairly easy to get into his hand. It's nice and snug in there, so it doesn't really come off. And again, a full range of dynamic. The posability on these guys are just absolutely phenomenal, as well as the paintwork. Again, you can, it's literally like these guys have just jumped out of the screen. They're so crisp and so clean. They're absolutely gorgeous. They're such wonderful figures. They're really beautiful, and it is such a shame. I know I keep saying that, but it is such a shame. The detailing and everything. Even on his shoes, the paint is nice and crisp and clean. There's hardly any sort of errors to be seen. I've got a slight error on mine, as you can see, just here. He's got a smidgen of white paint. I tried removing it, but I think I'll need something sort of quite sharp to remove it. I'm a bit hesitant to actually try and remove it because I don't want to scratch him, obviously, because again, such a lovely figure. Now these guys were part of wave 2. We only ever got a third wave. I didn't bother buying that third wave because I thought there was going to be a fourth, because the third wave was basically replicas of the Turtles, but as from their film. From the first live-action film. I think I can see why they did it. They obviously wanted to cut costs, but at the same time, I'm really disappointed that they did it instead of making sort of like Shredder or Krang as a third wave. I think if they'd have done that, I think it might save the line, and they'd still be going strong today. Sadly, that's not the case. You can find these guys fairly cheap, again, because they were mass-produced and they just didn't sell. So if you're a fan of the Turtles and you don't already have them, these are a must, basically. You need to get them immediately. Get them, put them in your collection, and just adore them like I do. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!